Hi, it's Friday, the 13th of June, and we're here to look at the astrology for the stuff that's around us at the moment. And have I got a really weird coincidence? I had to keep rubbing my eyes to check this. I'll get round to it, and you'll see what I mean when we look at the chart. But it's kind of spooky weird. Let's just let me explain a little. Because of the attack on Iran by Israel, I decided, well, the best thing to do here is to look at Netanyahu's chart and look at Trump's chart because these are key players in all of this, obviously. And it was quite an interesting journey. So I'm going to hope that you stay with me and we'll look at these charts together and then we'll look at the transits or the planets in the sky on Wednesday when the actual strike was being put together in terms of people arriving and being put in aircraft and all the logistics. It's fascinating. Right, okay, now let me start with 1 second. I'm going to share this chart with you. So what I've done is I've put together the chart of Donald Trump, which is the planets on the outside, and in the middle we've got Netanyahu. And just these charts together are quite interesting. I'd never done this before, but let's have a look. Now, Donald Trump, let's just start here. So this is his sun at 22 degrees of Gemini, and his planets are on the outside. So here is his moon at 21 degrees of Sagittarius. Netanyahu's ascendant is somewhere in that region. Now, there's various times for his birth. The earliest says 10:45, the latest says 11:45. So I've gone for the middle ground. I've gone for 11:15. However, even if I'd gone for 11:45 or 10:45, we would still have had a Sagittarius ascendant. I went in the middle, as I normally do, finished up with a 22 degrees of Sagittarius ascendant, which is absolutely bang on with the moon of Trump and the sun of Trump. So we've got Netanyahu's ascendant descendant at 22 and 22 of Sagittarius and Gemini, and we've got Trump's Sun Moon opposition in that place too. Okay, there might be some tweaking needed with the time of Netanyahu, but it's only by a few minutes, and I'm not that far out. It remains in Sagittarius anyway. So this is quite a telling synastry between them, in as much as these two men have a lot in common, a lot that they recognize about each other. There is a comfortable sort of feeling. Um, Always when you get this happening, one of the parties, ascendant, descendant, crossing important planets on the other party, then you get a very important relationship which has a huge impact. Okay, so let's just digest that one. Then come up here and look at this. So they both have a Mars at 26 degrees 46, 26, 46, 26, 44. They both have Mars in Leo, exactly on top of each other. Okay, and then we get, and this is sort of quite obvious, really. You've got four planets in Libra here with Trump and with Netanyahu, who was born at an approaching new moon. He also has a pile of stuff in Libra here. It's always worth thinking about when we see a south node or the moon's nodes of one of the parties making a conjunction with one of the other party's planets, because it can be implied that there is some past life stuff between them. So we've got here South Node of Netanyahu, and it is in that case conjunct Chiron, Juno, and Jupiter in Trump's chart. That indicates, if you believe in such things, a past life where they were in some way like a married couple, that there was some kind of um, intimate relationship going on. Which, to be honest with you, um, when we take new lives and we're here with these horoscopes, not not the life we had before, it can be a little confusing because in some ways the two parties may feel as if they somehow know each other from before, but don't know how that they know each other, and so it can mean that the relationship has more of a familiar feel than one would normally have after just a few meetings. Anyway, so right, I'm just going to stop sharing that for a moment, and then I'm going to bring in um, the the chart for the 11th, Wednesday the 11th. Right, I'm just going to just go to the share here. I've just set up a tri-wheel, which I'm going to share with you. Right, so we've got inner wheel Netanyahu, and we've got Trump's planets around that. So that's the wheel you've just seen, those two. And now around all of that, I've put the transits for Wednesday the 11th. The actual strike obviously was yesterday, but this is close enough to the event. It would have been in preparation. That those involved would be actively starting their day's work, if you like. Okay, so it's the full moon, and the full moon is where? It's in Sagittarius, Gemini, and the sun at this point, and I mean, I could have twiddled this so that it finished up exactly, but it doesn't matter. It's close enough anyway. So this just shows that the moon has moved on 2 degrees, so it's 4 hours out. It's 4 hours after the exactness, but that's close enough. So we have the sun sitting on Netanyahu's descendant, sitting on Trump's natal sun, and then we have the moon in the sky, transiting moon, because it's a full moon in Sagittarius at 23. Well, all right, 4 hours earlier, it was at 21. So 4 hours earlier at 21 degrees of Sagittarius, conjunct Trump's moon at 21 degrees Sagittarius, and Netanyahu's ascendant at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. Now, that for me describes an event or an energy which is binding these two men together. But as if that isn't enough, look at this. This is this coincidence I was talking about earlier. This is sensational. I've never seen anything like this. The Mars in the sky, so transiting Mars, is also at 26 degrees of Leo. So we've got the Mars in the sky, 26 Leo. It's a Mars return for Trump, and it's a Mars return for Netanyahu. We've got three Marses here at 26 degrees of Leo. Right. I'm just going to pause for a moment, stop sharing, and just go, can you believe that? Phenomenal astrology. And so it's clearly talking, it's got to be saying something. And I think the message is that the events which were unfolding made both men, Netanyahu and Trump, very full of pride, very full of the qualities of leadership, very energized by this action, which is all happening in the fire element. We've got Mars, known as a planet of war, aggressive. And so for each of these men, the whole thing was something which they took great power from. They felt in control, they felt powerful, they felt larger than life. And that's for both of them. It's quite a powerful impact that they both felt this enormous, great power in themselves. As the full moon, so the sun and the moon in opposition, so one's on one side of the planet, one's on the other, hits a very important part of both of their charts. Trump's sun and moon and Netanyahu's ascendant, descendant. So what that does is it brings a huge spotlight onto an important feeling within. So as far as Netanyahu is concerned, it's his ascendant is in Sagittarius. It lights up this Sagittarius feeling of being like Zeus, right? It's a Zeus-like feeling that there are no boundaries, there's no barriers. I am free. I can do what I like. Now, of the two, so Netanyahu and Trump, because Netanyahu's ascendant is in Sagittarius, and that's Trump's moon in Sagittarius, which is a very yin energy, very feminine energy. And his sun, his masculine energy, is in Gemini. So when I put the two together, who is the strongest? Netanyahu, without a doubt. That's it. He's got the Sagittarius ascendant. The person opposite has got the Gemini. Gemini is the weaker sign. Sagittarius is the more mature sign. And so we have a shared feeling of power and of being boosted and feeling that one has great impact on the world. And the world is watching, and there's a stage, and everybody's watching you, and this is a good feeling. And we have that's backed up with the Mars return in both their charts. I'm just going to leave you with that. I'm speechless. And as an astrologer, I'm just going to say that is my reading of the astrology, and I'm not going to comment on the actual actions. I suppose, except to say that these men planned this together. This is this is them like that. That's what it means to me as an astrologer. This was a moment that they both shared, and and that's it. Of that I'm certain. Right. Okay. I'm going to get off now, and I hope this wasn't too. I hope this wasn't one of those videos that YouTube now bans because it's too controversial. Maybe nobody will understand it. Okay, then I'm going to go. All right. Alison Chester-Lambert, astrologer, and I'll see you early next week. Okay, thanks. Bye. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend.